Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's special presentation. The very best traders spend years developing systematic, rules-driven trading systems. They've tested different techniques and money management tactics to figure out which ones are best. Their goal is to create a high-probability, low-risk approach to trading markets. They focus on being unemotional and place trades based on data rather than a gut feeling. And lastly, they are disciplined. Everyone will experience a cluster of losing trades, but it's how you come back from those losing trades that will take your trading to the next level. What I want to show you here tonight is what's called the RSI-2 trading system. The RSI-2 trading system was developed by Larry Connors. Larry Connors is an author, he's a trader, he has over 30 years in the financial markets industry. This strategy focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends but are experiencing short-term corrections. And what I love about this trading system is that it's really simple. It uses three indicators: a 200-day simple moving average to identify the long-term trend, and a 5-day simple moving average, and the 2-period RSI for the short-term trend. Let me show you how the strategy works. So here we're looking at Procter & Gamble from November of 2018 to November of 2019. Don't worry about the time frame. It's the technique that I want to teach you. I'll explain why I went back to this time frame in a moment, and I'm going to show you some recent examples as well. Overall, price moves from bottom left to upper right, but there are times, of course, when the stock pulls back. It stays above its 200-day simple moving average, but falls below its 5-day simple moving average. So long-term uptrend, but a short-term correction. Now the other piece to this trading system is Relative Strength Index, RSI. RSI is scaled between 0 and 100, with the industry standard look-back period is 14. And we are looking at a daily price chart here, so it is a 14-day look-back, with the lower level at 30 and the upper level at 70. So the oversold level below 30, the overbought level above 70. And you can plot RSI on any stock. You can see the movement of the RSI over time. Now, using the industry standard setting, again, of a 14-period look-back, you can see that the RSI fell below 30 only once. Remember the chart before, we were looking at November of 18 to November of 19, and the 14-period RSI didn't fall below 30 at all during that time period. So I actually had to go back further to show you when the 14-period RSI fell below 30. That was a great buying opportunity. Now, this isn't the indicator that Larry Connors uses. He uses a 2-period RSI, but I just wanted to introduce you to the Relative Strength Index and show you the industry standard settings, because what Larry Connors did was he sped up the indicator. He changed the look-back period to 2. And when you do that, you also have to lower your extreme level. So he lowered the extreme level from 30 to 10, changed the look-back period from 14 to 2. You can see that generates a lot more signals. So along with the price of the stock above the 200-day moving average, again, long-term uptrend, but below the 5-day moving average and, not or, and the 2-period RSI below 10, there's your trade. There's your setup. Let's take a look at what this trading plan looks like written down on paper. Okay, so here are our entry rules. We are going to buy only when the stock is above the 200-day simple moving average, long-term uptrend, but below the 5-day simple moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10, short-term correction. And we are going to enter as close to the close of the day as possible. When I trade this system, I'm entering trades at about 3:50 or 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to put a market order in. Not going to mess around with limit orders because there's a chance that I might not get filled. I want to get filled as close to the close as possible. As long as I see price above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10. Our exit criteria, and I emphasize exit criteria, not stop loss. Larry Connors developed this trading system not using stop losses because he felt like it would hurt performance over time. Our exit criteria is when price goes above the 5-day simple moving average, and we are also exiting near the close of the session, as close to the close as possible. 350, 355, you put a market order in, you're out of the trade. Just make sure price is about to close above that 5-day simple moving average. All right, so let's take a look at some examples. Same stock, Procter & Gamble. Remember from a few charts ago, we saw that the price of the stock was above the 200-day moving average for the entire time, from November of 18 to November of 19. However, when I zoom in here, you can see we lose that 200-day moving average. But just know, when we're looking at these setups, price is above the 200-day moving average. On July 23, 2019, price closes below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI closes below 10. The red line here is equivalent to 10. So we have a setup. We buy it at 113.85. Now, for the purposes here, I'm going to use the closing price because I don't know what the price of Procter & Gamble was on July 23rd of 2019 at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, for the purposes here, I'm going to use the closing price as our entry. Remember, not much slippage. Most brokerages now don't charge commission for online trades, so commission isn't a factor anymore. So we're going to use 113.85 as our entry. We sell 3 days later. Why are we selling? Because we notice that at 350, 355, price is about to close above the 5-day simple moving average. So we exit at 114.73. So that's a winning trade, right? The very next day, we have another setup. I'm not saying that you're going to buy more of the stock if you bought it the day before, but what I'm going to show you here is every single RSI2 setup moving forward. So on July 24th, 2019, price is still above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI is below 10. So we enter at 113.15, give or take a few pennies, but we're entering in as close to the close as possible. We sell a couple of days later at 114.73. That's another winning trade. So far, so good. And I'm moving from left to right. I'm not skipping over dates or just cherry picking dates. The very next setup after that July 24th of 19 setup was on August 5th of 19. Price of the stock is still above its 200-day moving average, but it's experiencing a short-term correction. Price is about to close below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. We see that. We see it as close to the close as possible. We enter in at 113.08. We sell it 2 days later at another nice gain, 115.52. Price is about to close above the 5-day moving average, so we exit. We're not looking for home run trades here, folks. We're looking for single after single after single. So that's another winning trade. Here's another one, September 10th of 2019. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but it's pulled back below the 5-day simple moving average, and the 2-period RSI is below 10. We enter near the close of that session at 119.88. We sell it 2 days later at 122.77. That's a real nice gain there in a couple of days. We see that the price is about to close above the 5-day moving average, so we exit. The next setup was on October 2nd, 2019. Price is pulled back below the 5-day moving average, but it's still above the 200-day moving average. Very, very important. We're looking for long-term uptrends, but that are pulling back below the 5-day moving average. You've heard the term buying the dips before. Buying the dips is easier said than done, unless you have a very systematic, rules-driven way to identify that, hey, this is a pullback, this is a dip, but what is the likelihood that this dip is going to be just that, a dip, instead of the beginnings of a downtrend? Well, the likelihood that that is the case is because price is above that 200-day moving average. Long-term uptrend, short-term pullback, 2-period RSI below 10. Very oversold situation here with this indicator. We buy at 121.08. We sell it 2 days later at $124 even. Very nice gain there as well. So that's another winning trade. October 14, 2019. Price is above the 200-day moving average still, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. We didn't buy it the day before. We didn't buy it the day before that, even though price was below the 5-day moving average because the 2-period RSI did not dip below 10. Now here we bought it at 120.05 and we sold it 5 days later at $119.08. Now that's a losing trade. So earlier I said, don't think of it as a stop loss, but as an exit criteria. No matter what happens, you exit when price is about to close above the 5-day moving average. Now up to this point, we've seen winning trades. This right here resulted in a losing trade, and that's going to happen. So we have one loss so far. Now the very next day you have another setup. If you didn't buy it the day before for whatever reason, you had another opportunity on October 15th of 2019. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but still below the 5-day and the 2-period RSI below 10. If you bought it at 117.20, you still sold it 4 days later at 119.08. So that's a winning trade. 2 days later, another setup. Now, we didn't have a setup the day before, even though price closed below the 5-day, because the third piece was not in place. The 2-period RSI was not below 10. It was on October 17th of 2019. So we had another opportunity if we didn't happen to buy it on any one of those previous days. We buy it at 116.63. We sell it at 119.08. That is another winning trade. So that was, I believe, 8 examples. We had 7 winners and 1 loser. Now, that's over a 3-month period of time from July of 2019 to October of 2019. Now, I know that's not a large enough sample size. So what I decided to do was go all the way back to November of 2018, all the way to current. And over that 22, 23-month period, there were 28 RSI2 setups, 8 of which I just demonstrated. Out of those 28 RSI2 setups, there were 25 winning trades and only 3 losing trades. That's an 89% winning trade percentage. You see here where it says I went all the way up to current. That includes February, March, April, May, June of this year. You're probably wondering, well, 3 losing trades, that can't be right. There must have been some losing trades during this time period. Well, there weren't any losing trades during this time period because there weren't any trades at all. Price fell below the 200-day moving average, indicating a long-term downtrend. And even though price fell below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI went below 10, there weren't any trades that were taken because, again, price was below that 200-day moving average. Now, price crossed above the 200-day moving average in July, and we had 2 more setups. Here, on September 8th, 2020, just a couple of weeks ago, price is above the 200-day moving average but fell below the 5-day moving average, closed below it. The 2-period RSI was below 10. So here was a setup where we could have bought it at 135.94. We sell it 3 days later at 138.14. Price closes above the 5-day simple moving average. We had another opportunity a few weeks later. Price is moving sideways here a little bit, right? It's actually drifting a little lower, but it's remaining above the 200-day moving average. It's fallen below the 5-day moving average, the 2-period RSI below 10. We buy it at 136.71. We sell it the very next day at 137.96. So we had a nice opportunity for a couple of more winning trades over the last couple of weeks. So that's just one stock. I did some more research on the RSI2 trading system, and I looked at the top 5 CI stocks in the S&P 500 watch list as of yesterday, September 24th of 2020. And those top CI stocks were NVIDIA, AMD, DXCM, Apple, and WST. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of our CI indicator. Comfort Index is a proprietary VectorVest indicator scaled on a 0 to 2 basis. Above 1 is favorable, below 1 is unfavorable. And CI measures a stock's ability to withstand long or lengthy downtrends. High CI stocks are very resilient stocks. They go up in price more than they go down. The type of stock that we saw with Procter & Gamble, those are the type of stocks we want to favor. High CI stocks. The higher the better. And in this case, I just sorted our S&P 500 watch list by Comfort Index. And over the last 6 months, there were 25 RSI2 setups across all 5 stocks. There were 23 winning trades and only 2 losing trades. That's a 92% winning trade percentage. Using the RSI2 trading system on the top 5 CI stocks in the S&P 500 over the last 6 months produced a 92% winning trade percentage. Folks, this is one of the most effective, profitable, short-term trading systems that I've ever seen, and I hope you learned that if you implement techniques like the RSI2, techniques that the very best professional traders develop, you're going to get there. You're going to achieve the success that you're looking for, and I hope you learned that here today. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about some of these techniques, and you don't want to look at chart after chart after chart after chart, I'd like you guys to stick around a little bit, because what I'm about to show you here eliminates all of that time. No matter what we teach you here, we want you to be able to do it faster, smarter, and better. And that's why we've developed a 6-session webcast series called Trade Like a Pro, where we teach you techniques from 3 of the very best, Larry Connors included, professional traders in the industry. You will learn top trading strategies of the pros and how to quickly and easily identify the best trades. Here are the modules. Let me go through them here real quick. The first module is about getting you in the correct mindset. This isn't your retirement approach. This is for the money that you have set aside, maybe to trade a little bit more actively. And we talk a little bit here about how the pros think, about managing risk. Very important segment in that first module is order entry. Module 2, we get into our first trading technique, and we teach you a couple of different bullish and bearish candlestick reversal patterns. I love candlestick reversal patterns because they identify changes in market sentiment, changes in investor sentiment. They recognize turning points. We'll teach you the correct indicator to use, and also where your confirmation levels are and where your stop loss levels are for each trade. Module number 3, we teach you the different types of market environments that you will see. There are trending markets. There are channeling markets. There are markets like we're in now, hitting an extremely oversold situation. We're going to teach you the correct indicators to use in each of those market environments. Then we get into our first professional technique. Steve Chappell and I will be your instructors, and Steve teaches you a technique called the Holy Grail. This was developed by Linda Radke. She's actually worked very closely with Larry Connors on a number of different projects. I know they've written a book together. The Holy Grail is a short-term trading system for both bullish and bearish markets. Then I'll teach you 2 systems developed by Charles Schaap, one called the 50-50 strategy, the other called 80 Excellence. The Holy Grail is very short-term, but the 50-50 and the 80 Excellence, they're a little bit more intermediate term, where you might hold on to stocks for a little bit longer. And then, in my opinion, the highlight of the course will teach you more about the RSI2 trading system, and then a system that Larry Connors developed called the RSI25 strategy. This is a strategy for both bullish and bearish ETFs. Now, the regular price for this course is $29.95, but we have a special rate this weekend, folks, $22.95. That rate will expire Monday at 5 p.m. Also, as a special bonus, we're going to give you this 6-session webcast series called Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis. We touch a little bit on candlestick reversal patterns in Module 2. We've done a whole course on candlestick reversal patterns. And now this is valued at $995, but we're going to give it to you as part of the Trade Like a Pro course. Some other bonuses here. We're going to provide you guys with 6 live mastery support sessions. These sessions are great. They help you implement what you've learned in the course. We'll take a look at what you're doing. We'll answer questions. Steve and I will be giving you guys homework assignments, and we'll go over those homework assignments here in the mastery support sessions. If you don't already have VectorVest Real-Time, we're going to give you 60 days access to the real-time with all the tools that you need. And this is my favorite session. This is a live trading session. This is essentially Module 7. Here is where we implement what we've learned over the course of the 6 weeks. I'll show you guys how to use RoboTrader to help manage your trades, and we're going to be stepping you through everything from market analysis to trade setup to trade execution. And this part is huge. You were probably wondering earlier, okay, he's teaching us this RSI2. They'll teach us the Holy Grail. How am I going to find these trades? Well, exclusively for workshop attendees, you will receive pre-built searches that make finding your trades a breeze. The legwork has been done already. I built these scans to quickly and easily identify the best candidates to trade, and they'll be automatically inserted into your programs. You don't have to build them yourselves. And this here, folks, is an automated trading system that I put together that centers around the RSI2 stock selection system that I just taught you. There's a slight difference in the exit criteria, but as part of the course, you will get this trading system. This trading system, since February of 2010 all the way to just a few days ago, is up 586%, with 93% winning trades, 207 winning trades, and 15 losing trades over this 10.5-year period. And I understand you're looking at the equity curve over on the right-hand side and you say, boy, that was a sharp drawdown. And I understand that. Now, this is an automated system, so we're not touching the system, but I know a lot of our clients who are trading this system who sent me emails and said, you know, I listened to your guidance in February and March, and either they stopped buying during the downturn or they went into cash completely, and they were able to minimize that drawdown quite a bit. You can see, though, with that drawdown, we've just recently made new highs here. So it's a very effective system. Remember, it trades high CI stocks. What did I say about high CI stocks? They're very resilient to market pullbacks. They go up more than they go down. So stocks are always going to pull back from time to time, but it's that high CI rating that really makes this system as consistent as it is. Here are the dates for the live mastery support sessions. Our first one is October 14th. The sessions will start at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and our live trading session is at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on the 24th of November. We start an hour before the market opens. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's market analysis. We'll run the scans. We'll look at the charts. We'll make sure you guys understand where your confirmation levels are, where your stop loss levels are for every trade. So all of these systems are very systematic, very rules-driven. They've been developed by some of the very best professional traders in the industry today. So you can go to www.vectorvest.com/TLP to register. On behalf of Steve Chappell and myself, we look forward to working with you folks. Have a great weekend, everybody.